bang. 3 secrets of my life. I thought I'll just get over. I do go to the washroom. All your guests.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. This is not a paid ad.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But I still remember it.
Hello guys, so welcome to Revelations podcast. It's podcast can reveal a person can come to my place. And today I have an amazing guest, Vineet.
Thank you, Julia.
Nambiar. Yes.
She got the name.
He's a famous entrepreneur, investor, founder of Mavericks global company, also chairman, and very welcome guest to any events, not just in Dubai, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Europe, everywhere. And today we will talk about scale and business. And please share me a little bit your personal story, why you become a successful person. But all people like to listen how you become a successful, because step by step, your worst days and your good days.
First of all, thank you, Julia, for having me on this amazing show. And I think you're doing an amazing job. I've had the chance to follow some of your podcasts, and so it's exciting to be here, just talking. So, just a little bit about me. Thank you for calling me successful. I still don't consider myself successful, but we're trying to get there. I am an accidental entrepreneur.
Accidental.
Accidental.
You accidental become a millionaire.
By mistake, I'll tell.
It's just accident. Just like going. Okay.
I'll tell you how this happens. Funny, actually. So, right out of college,
Yeah.
I did computer engineering, and it was hard to find a good job, the kind of job which I was looking for. So, I don't want it to be called jobless. And so I thought, we need something cool. So someone said, you need, call yourself an entrepreneur. You start up. And I said, oh, so if I don't have it's better than being called a jobless guy. You might as well be called, an entrepreneur, right? So this is the first thing. And that was my first, and I said, you know what, let me dabble on that. And then, funny thing is, I actually got my first job. And then, and this was just dumb coding as a tech geek. I never enjoyed a single bit of it. And all throughout, sitting in a corporate, it's like wondering, I'm not cut out for this. So I bumped into this bunch of guys who were building software for this travel agent thing, right? And I said, hey guys, you know what? There's a great opportunity out, in the Gulf, because a lot of travel agents are there. We can scale this product. And accidentally, I became a co-founder. Everything, and there was no word. Back in the day, no one used the word startups. It was new business. No one used the word entrepreneur. They just said a new business guy, starting a new venture. And I was like, cool, but I was enjoying myself, right? Suddenly, a bunch of these kids, only passion, a lot of stupidity, but full of, let's go and do it. Long story short, in about 2 years' time, like half the market were our clients. We became the fastest growing back office, software developer of the travel agent thing. And, one thing led to the another. And we eventually even got an investor. I got out back, during this time. And I went on to build other ventures, I teamed up with my then local partner, and we set up another building technology firm. I don't want to bore you with all those details. But what I found out was my passion for building great emerging companies, right? Which have great potential to grow. So I said, but this was taking too much time. So I'm a Gulf kid. I was born and raised here. So I was like, we're very lazy. Fundamentally, we don't want to work too long hours. This was taking 16, 18 hours a day. I said, how do I be in the entrepreneurship game without actually having to spend this many hours? So that's when we launched Mavericks, a few years back. As an accelerator, we want to back those young Vineets out there, those Julias, and who have great entrepreneurs. We back them, we support them, bunch of stuff. Fundraising, connections, helping them to scale, grow, access to international market. And the biggest thing what we ended up doing is helping them to go global. So you could be great in your city and you're thinking, what do I do next? That's when we come in. And that's when, we said, well, this is my dream thing. we help going global.
Okay, for example, one company live in Latvia or, for example, in Italy. It's
Right.
like a little company, but this company want to be global
Right.
in all the market. You can help with this company, right?
Exactly.
It depends of what kind of company or what.
Right, very good question. We are agnostic in terms of which sector. You could be a tech company, you could be a coffee shop, who you could be a great coffee shop in Italy, who is very popular, say, with the young crowd or with the old crowd, but you're only say big in Milan, but you want to expand. Say you want to enter Riyadh, you want to enter Doha, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. How do you scale? That's when we come in. We don't come in until you have some kind of traction in your local market, because that's what we call it, scale ups. So we are all about scale ups and not startups. You could be a large company. We work with universities. There are international universities out in the US who want to scale. We work with them. We work with large pharmaceutical companies. All these companies are looking to. Even MNCs, sometimes we work in terms of corporate innovation because they find it hard to become innovative. So sometimes they approach us, hey, how do we find a great innovative company and work together? So across the spectrum, big, large, small, we don't look at that. It's just that if that guy has potential, bang. And now, it's interesting, Julia, you just asked me this question. I don't think it's even an option anymore. You have to go global today. I will tell you, I'll tell you why. Going global, people think is just about expanding to market. It could be so many other things. It could be finding a great supplier. If your coffee bean is so expensive in Milan, you will never be competitive probably in the local market. If you have great Ethiopian coffee or someone else in Latin America, you have to go global to even find that great coffee at great prices with great partners who can supply that to you. Then only you become competitive. So nowadays, if you're an entrepreneur saying, hey, you know what, it's not for me, I'm just happy being in Dubai, or I'm just being happy being in wherever I am, eventually you are going to fail.
Yeah.
You have to at least, you need for product, you need technology, you need great supply. Talent is global.
And money.
And you need money.
Money for.
I'm coming to money.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I know money is this big question. How do I
course.
raise money? And we'll have a whole section about how do we raise money. But the main thing is, do not think going global is just about expanding to markets. It is sometimes finding great talent. You want to connect to Julia, who's probably not in this, but she can help you with a great ecosystem of Web3 tech, which can aid your coffee shop into something more innovative. So you may not find them in Milan, but you got to find them here in. So we keep going to Italy. We work with a lot of East Asia. We work with China, the greater Bay Area, Hong Kong, Guangdong, Macau, India, Africa. Everyone should go to Africa now. Exciting times. We say go global, Gulf to the globe. That's our mantra. Gulf to the globe is a great thing.
Thank you so much. It's really interesting for new entrepreneurs who come to Dubai, not just in Dubai, the global market, and how to enter in the market. What's specific, for example, in Africa, in Asia, in Middle East. I know that each market has special points. You need to understand how it's working in this country, understand the government points and the personal points, and how you feel this market, how you help in this company, and understand what you need to do step by step.
Right. So again, this is probably the most important question. Before you go to a new market, you need to figure out why do you want to go global. So for some people, it could be just finding new clients. For some people, it could be finding new partners, franchises. For some, it could be suppliers. To figure out why. Second, now this is a big problem we have. Now, in the last 5 years, we've worked with 10,000 ventures across the world. Majority of them want to expand, but they're not ready. We ask them a bunch of questions. Hey, have you done your numbers right? Have you worked out on a strategy? What do you want to do in this market? Like, I go back to the coffee shop example because it's the easiest. I may have 20 products in my coffee shop. I may have Americano, Spanish latte. I may have a new Mexican latte. But I don't enter a particular market with all my products. Maybe you need a strategy. You know what? I'll start with Dubai latte when I come here. This is cool. This is something very innovative. Let's start with some. Build that strategy. Don't come bang on. Once you know what, the why, Then comes the question which you're asking, how? Sometimes in the Gulf, it's better not to come directly and work with a partner. Why do you want to compete with the big boys? Unless you have $1 billion and you're ready to go and attack a market. So if you don't have that kind of capital, partner. And there are a lot of, there's the whole bunch, it's a long story, I could spend a whole hour who to partner, but understand one thing. This region, 90% of the businesses are family businesses. So working with some of these family businesses, again, you need to go, should I go to a very big family name or should I go somewhere in the medium? Depends. There are advantages and disadvantages. The big family businesses have great connections, channels, but they may not be able to give you that kind of attention which you need. Or they may not have that kind of hunger because they have 100 brands in their portfolio. But a smaller one might be the more hungry one. So you got to figure out in terms of strategy, work with the right people, guys. Don't, you're going to get full, you're going to meet a bunch of guys who aren't exactly serious, just making a quick buck. And then you say, Habibi, why did I come? So it's like, they say, no, we always say, Habibi, yalla, come to Dubai. But, this is different. You need to understand who you work with. You need to know your ecosystem is legit. And the key thing is ask them how long you've been in the country. People, because if you're not been too long, they're here just for holiday, just for testing, a lot of talking, a lot of bullshitting. But you want to, so you want to get out of the bullshit trap.
Yes.
Ask people if they're for you. They're committed to the region. Then this is the kind of people I want to work with. Work with the hungry guy or girl. Don't go for big always. A lot of people chase. Oh, let me find that rich sheikh who's going to change my life. That's that's not how it works. You need to find So partnerships, franchise models, raising funds. There are a ton of grants and funds which you can access if you're smart. Understand your strategy. Sometimes it's not good to enter Dubai. Maybe you want to enter an Abu Dhabi. Maybe you want to enter a Doha, a Riyadh before you enter a global city like Dubai. Because every city has its pros and cons. And not all cities are the same, right?
Yes.
A lot of people know Dubai, but they don't understand the rest of the Gulf. They make a big mistake. You know what? Everything's the same. So this is the problem. And don't try using languages you don't understand. Because it can sound really funny. I'm not pointing at anyone.
How to attract investment for the project? But
Right.
sometimes it seems like easy, but honestly, it's not easy.
Right.
How to attract investing in new project? Just MVP maybe, or not seed round.
Right.
Maybe seed round, yeah, but new project and the new entrepreneur want investors. How to do this?
Fundraising is a very interesting. You want to go slow with that? The sound is. It's a bit noisy. Anyway, I'm hoping it's. So fundraising is an interesting topic. See, a lot of people come thinking that you can just go pitch and get that fund. They don't do the groundwork. I have a simple rule. I always tell people, it's ultimately the relationship. You need to understand, especially in the Gulf, if you're trying to raise funds, here people tend to trust people over a period of time, not immediately. You need to build that trust over a period of years. Now, you as an entrepreneur may not have years to build relationships with someone, but you can always find someone who has that relationship, right? If there are 100 investors, find out who are the close ones who are working with these guys. First, try to understand that investor. What's he like? What kind of things he's interested in? Do not go directly. If Julia is that investor, I have an option. Maybe I know Julia's number and I can directly contact her, but I don't exactly have that relationship with Julia. But I might know someone who Julia works with, and a company who Julia's invested in. I talked to that company and I said, hey, can you make that introduction? Julia trusts him. Now Julia might go with what he has to say. Understand what he has to say. Always going with that kind of introductions makes a whole lot of difference between actually securing that fund and actually not getting that fund. So working with accelerators, like we run an accelerator Mavericks. Working with there are tons of accelerators. You need to find the good ones. Becoming a portfolio company is one way of that. There are a lot of funds and grants people don't know about. Tons of product funds and grants. This is one part of the world where there are probably more funds than actual people applying for it.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised how much of funds you have there to access. And you don't need to always look at some people say, how do I approach the sovereign wealth funds? No, they're $1 billion funds. There are so many product development funds out there. Go ahead and associate. Go and pitch in those family businesses. Go and pitch. There are angels, but you need to be careful because sometimes taking money from the wrong person means your life is going to turn to a nightmare because they're going to call you every back, hey, where is my money, right? So you need to be careful about who you actually take that kind of money. But there's not, I always believe there's more money than good ideas chasing that. Don't come with an idea. That's what I said. This is a scale-up. You have a better chance working. If you are a startup, work on it. Build initial sufficient traction. Otherwise, you're going to be undervalued. And if you're undervalued, he's going to eat your company. The investor's going to take 90, but you're going to be left with nothing. That's not good for the investor. Never is good for you, right? So, a lot of times, but first, build your strategy. I just want to make it 3 points. And do the groundwork. Then work with the right kind of people who can open those doors for you. Try to avoid going directly. If you don't find time, go ahead and go directly, no problem. But make sure you're ready. When you get that meeting, if you mess it up, then you're not going to get a second chance. Or you will, but it may be a long time later, and the damage has been done, right? So this is where I say, do your groundwork, build your strategy, and that strategy is not about what you want to do, is how you approach that person, and then bang. They're the smartest one who actually makes investors. There are a lot of lucky stories. But that's lucky, right? And so if you keep trying, one day you will be lucky as well. So it's that kind of market.
Are you a speaker on events, right?
Yes, I speak. I do a little bit of speaking.
Because I listening that you're speaking like a speaker, because really
thank you.
Have a good pronunciation, good advice, and good communication with your dialogue. Because sometimes the guests are just very smart guests, really. All my guests are very smart, but just very...
All your guests. Yeah. I didn't say that. This is not a paid ad.
Not paid.
Right, yes. So, yeah.
Okay. You have a big experience in your work and your life, but what about your personal life, about your hobby? What's make your energy? What sport, maybe tennis or something else? What kind of your... very, very energy in your life.
So you asked a question about speaking, right? I did this test, a personality test a few years back. And that test basically tells you if you're an introvert, an extrovert, an outgoing person. You'd be shocked. I found out that I'm an introvert. I don't talk a lot, except, I like to keep to myself. But when I'm passionate about something, so those things, I go about it. Others are probably the most boring person, unless I'm with a bunch of close friends. I am crowd shy. I have a crowd phobia. I tend to run away when I see a lot of people because I grew up in I was born and raised in Qatar, and I grew up with seeing very little small populations. Suddenly, when we see this huge, when we were growing, the Gulf wasn't the toast of the world, right? It was just 200,000. Dubai was 300,000. Very small populations. The last 3 decades, extraordinary transformation. And suddenly we see a lot of people around, it's like, whoa. And we're just not so used to this market. So I found out that, but then I found out, like, when I'm actually passionate about it, when I'm actually in the zone, I'm a different animal altogether. It's like a split personality, right? I don't recognize who's this guy, So I got the chance. I don't speak for speak purpose. I get the opportunities to travel a lot because we host forums around the world, all the way from New York City to Jakarta. I just spoke at the Hong Kong Middle East Chamber last month when I was invited to Hong Kong. We were talking again. It's about go global. You have this hunger, amazing Hong Kong entrepreneurs doing fantastic stuff. I thought we've seen it all in the Gulf, right? No. There's so much that's going to come in the next few years. They're interested, how do we scale? So I was giving them a lay down about that, and I was sharing my experience building these ventures, growing, and we've had a lot of failures, right? It's not all hunky-dory. That's what I say. You have a ton of failures, and it's ultimately, I still remember that quote. It was, I think, in Rocky, where Sylvester Stallone said, it's not how many punches you give, it's how much punches you can take and still get up. They're the ones who actually win, right? It's not how much you can learn. So for us, I've taken a lot of punches, I have a lot of scars to show, but we get up, we wake up, and we try, to do our best. So yeah, that's what. So and in terms of hobbies and passions, I'm a child of the desert, so I've always loved the desert. Netflix and chill. Otherwise,
it's your hobby.
I love hanging out. Of course, I like watching Netflix. I love reading. I'm a bit of a geek. I like current affairs, strategy, stuff like that. But yeah, otherwise, I love hanging out with my friends. I have a very close-knit friends group, and I think mental health is now a big part. And I've realized, especially after COVID, these are the little things in life we need to cherish. So I spend a lot of time whenever with my friends, but it's a close circle. I don't hang out with everyone because, as I said, I have the phobia. But once I get talking, you can't stop me.
Oh, okay, you're a very successful person, and some people want to understand how you spend your just typical day, because sometimes people have a mindset: if this person makes this, then I need to do the same.
Right.
And can you tell me about your typical day? For example, on Sunday.
Saturday?
Monday, yeah.
Monday.
Monday.
Right.
Saturday, just sleep, okay?
I just slept. Yeah, that's it. Go on. No, I mean, I think everyone has something unique about him. We all try to pretend to be someone we're not. So I found out a big part of my life when I started holding myself back and trying to be someone else. It doesn't work. We're not comfortable. Like if you're an introvert, don't try to be an extrovert. I mean, it will look weird, honestly, but if you're someone who is, be yourself, sometimes, it's so charming to get listeners, right? So one thing I found out is, I'm being an introvert, I had an advantage. I listen a lot. So many of the conversations, when I'm meeting you first, I like to listen to you a lot. And then, if you're the kind of person who I connect with, and that's when, I really open up, So we've had a couple of meetings, I didn't know you first, Julie, but exciting to hear your story as well, what you have done as a very successful Web3 influencer. And I was like, wow, a lot of respect. And that's when that builds the confidence. And then, otherwise on a Monday morning, going back to your question, I love starting with reading because it works my brain. You read, and I subscribe to these analysts.
You wake up and read it?
No, I thought I'll just get over. I do go to the washroom.
Yeah. You skip the washroom.
I do, yeah, that's the first. I'm a guy. I have to go through all that. I need to take a shower. I can't start my day with that. So I just wanted to skip that because I thought your viewers didn't want to hear about that. Okay, we know you. You do that. After that,
yes.
I need my Americano.
Okay.
Okay. Why is that? It's
very important. No latte, Americano. And all the entrepreneurs skip skip a latte and start to drink Americano.
0 calories, guys. The best thing, and
no sugar.
And the caffeine is going to power you for another few hours, right? But don't try it after 12 p.m. because then you're not going to sleep. So do it early morning. The Americano starts. I like to start slow. My engine takes time for warming up. But by 10, 11 a.m., I'm, ready to, it's every day is a war, right? So you got to be ready for, the fights of it. I wish this life is, all hunky-dory and like a Cinderella, like one of those Walt Disney happy. It's not. Every day is a fight. You're going to take a lot of hits. You're going to have ups and lows. All are human beings, even having so one of the biggest what I love about my things, I get to work with a lot of amazing, successful people. So I learn from a lot of them. I work with these huge entrepreneurs who build unbelievable stories, right? They came from nothing, some of them, and they built this extraordinary life. And that, when you're in that kind of environment, first of all, it's very humbling. You feel you're so small. And second of all, you realize, wow, there's so much we can actually do. So that's that keeps me, that's the fire that keeps me going in. People give me energy. I draw energy for people I look. Even when I'm speaking, someone's yawning, I immediately look the other side. I know I'm drawing the negative energy, I'm going to fall asleep. I draw from people who we can establish eye contact. So, hey, that keeps me. I love sports, watching. I used to play a lot. I'm not playing as much as I should be, but I love sports. And that's great. Otherwise, like a regular guy, hang out with your friends, Okay, I'm a prankster. I love taking a prankster.
Really?
Yes. So a lot of my friends hate me for that, but love me. But it's a mixed bag. I only do it if I know you. Don't worry. I'll not take my chances. But I really like doing pranks and stuff. Okay. And I get pranked a lot too. It's a two-way street. It's
Good
not
to know.
So don't worry, this interview is not a prank. So it's for real. So, but yeah, traveling. That's my religion. I just love traveling. That is the food that feeds my soul. Every few weeks, new culture, new people. It's for me the destination is not just about the destination; it's about the people I meet, and of course everything about the culture, the cuisine, the food, the arts, everything's about it. So travel is for me that real passion. You got to find what's good for you.
Yeah, by the way, when you told about entrepreneurs and your typical day, I remember that I know one guy who come from one island with one bag 20 years ago, without money, just maybe $10. And now he's very successful person in Dubai. And it's a story very exciting, very impressive for me. Like, why? How he do?
So that's called rags to riches, right?
Yeah.
My story was other way around. My dad took care of me and spoiled me. I was the richest to rags story before I started actually working. So I blew my dad's money and for most until he was there. And then one fine day he passed away, right? That's when life hit me. Because I was the spoiled kid who was living on daddy's money, burning it all around. And my dad worked his ass off to be what he is. But that's when life hits me, right? And that journey, that struggle, makes you what you are. So any mature person you see, they have a lot of scars, a lot of pain. All are smiling, all are laughing, Julia, but they have deep inside, there's a hurt, there's a pain. And that's when I understood human beings even deeper in terms of when you connect, you need to understand what's deep that pain inside that person. They may be smiling, they may be laughing, but everyone's carrying something. And that's why we got to be better human beings. We got to empathize, but at the beyond the point, don't be too over, concerned about that person too, because you're going through hard times too. So no one's having it easy. Some mentally, and mentally is more painful than physical. Some health, some family. Everyone has that deep pain, right? And we always think, oh, why me? Even the richest of rich guys I have seen, because I had the honor to work with some of these guys, they're not happy. So it's amazing, right? I've seen guys with nothing so happy. Same thing, when I was in college, we had nothing. I thought I was so happy. I was way more happier than, when you bought your first house, when you bought your first car, when you bought your first thing.
Yes.
And then I thought, I have it all, and still, why am I not as happy as when I had nothing?
Sometimes people have all,
Right.
but not happy.
Not happy.
Not happy. Because it's mentality.
It's so, why? Because we have started chasing money for the sake of money. If you do, now it's getting very stereotyped, is follow your passion. I'm not saying just follow your passion blindly. Have a financial plan, but if you don't have that thing, like if it's travel or if that's feeding your soul, you're going to die. You're going to lose the vibe. And one of the great things about Dubai, it has a great vibe. I think forget about everything.
Yeah.
The energy is there. You don't want to be in a place where it's like dull and there's no energy. You want a place where I was just in Abu Dhabi and I love that place. That's amazing. That's a next, an emerging destination. But that vibe so matters. So surround yourself with the right people. You could be in a big city and lonely. Most big city people are lonely, but it's ultimately the human factor.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps us going.
How do you think? What about future in Dubai from 5 or 10 years? Future in global market also, because now we have artificial intelligence, and sometimes people need some companies, copywriters, designers, and a lot of things, changing of automatically system. And what's happened from 10 years? I think it will be super crazy time for us.
So this is the talk everywhere, right? AI and what it means, and so my simple philosophy about how we should look at AI is, I think it is net an amazing development. It's like back in the day when we were growing up, the internet was this transformational thing, but the internet was disruptive. It affected a lot of jobs, it affected a lot of people, but who did it affect? People who refuse to accept it, people who refuse to dominate it, or rather let it dominate you. So AI is going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be the most revolutionary thing of our time for sure. But the question is, how do you take advantage of that? Are you going to allow AI to, or are you going to ride that way? Are you going to incorporate AI into your business? Are you going to work with new AI ventures? Are you going to launch new AI? That's what you need to understand. You need to sit down there and see how I can use this technology. Because for humanity, this is amazing. Just think about it. In 10, 20 years from now, maybe we may not even have workers in this heat. I always look at them and it is so inhuman for human beings to be, at 50 degrees Celsius, even constructing. Imagine we are robots to do that. We as human beings are not meant to work for just to live and eat. We should work to achieve a higher purpose. If AI can take care of all the regular stuff, I think we are heading towards a world where there'll be a universal basic income. All of us are going to get a minimum income to pay because AI will make the world a very productive economy. That's what even Elon Musk said. It's an exciting world. It will make it so much more productive. Like if we are a $1 trillion economy, we'll be 100 trillion in the next 10 years. That will create so much wealth for all of us that we don't need to work in a day for food, shelter. So we're all going to get that food, shelter for free. Now you're only going to work for more. Say if you want to buy that French villa, Riviera villa, or that yacht, you're going to push yourself only for that. So that means if you're an artist, you don't need to worry about bread and butter. You can focus on building that out. So that's why I say net, it's a great thing. Do not worry that this is going to come, but be proactive. Try to take advantage of that. Back in the website days, those who said, no, I will not build a website, they're the ones who got hit. Go and build your .ai, right? If you're a coffee shop, again, cafe.ai, get ahead and meet the Julius of the world and, ask them to help you if you need that help. And the fact is, you need that help. That's why you need to work with influencers like that. Again, not a paid ad. I'm not that, but this is a fact that, right.
Who knows?
Right.
My provocative last question. Reveal your 3 secrets of your life.
Can you switch off the camera? 3 secrets of my life. I think I told you the first thing is that one thing, I'm an introvert. No one knew this. I like to be let alone in my living room in some corner on a beanbag with a book or my Netflix or any show. That's the first secret. People think I'm an outgoing person. I'm always outside. I'm not. For me, I need to take an effort sometimes to actually even network and do that. So that's the first secret. If you want to understand me better. The second secret, I'm a foodie. I live to eat and not to eat to live. And it's if you were born and raised in the Gulf, food is, you would really enjoy living the foodie life. So that's because this is the best place in the world for all kinds of cuisine. And you get high quality stuff, right?
I agree, yeah.
And so third thing is what people don't know is, hey, I am a politician aspirant.
Oh, really?
One day I want to get into politics. Not for getting people to fight, to actually do something good. A lot of people say, go to politics, it's good business. I said, no. I want to first make sure that I have the basics. And then I want to get into politics as a tool for change. So maybe that means not to be a politician, but to work with different instruments of change, right? And so that's something, that's interesting. So not a lot of people know that about me.
Good. No war. Make love. On this vibe, we.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you so
Real
much.
pleasure.